Welcome to Vintage Hollywood Archive. There are few people as synonymous with the 70s as Farrah Fawcett. The Charlie's Angels actress not only became instantly recognizable after landing the iconic role, but her hairstyle was one of the most popular of the decade. And yet, very few people actually know how Fawcett got her start. Did Farrah Fawcett only succeed because she wasn't wearing a bra? Make sure to watch the video until the end, and leave your thoughts in the comments. If you are new here, join our wonderful community by subscribing to the Vintage Hollywood Archive channel. Farrah Fawcett, Hollywood's golden girl. When it comes to Hollywood blondes, Farrah Fawcett is absolutely essential. She was an American obsession. Millions of teenage boys in the 1970s decorated their bedrooms with the poster of Fawcett clad in a red one-piece bathing suit and flashing a dazzling smile while playing with her tousled blonde mane. There's no denying the fact that the 70s pinup girl and actress was a huge celebrity in her time. Remembered for her role as Jill in the 1970s TV series Charlie's Angels, her world-famous swimsuit poster, and, of course, her iconic feathered hair. It's clear that Fawcett was once the ultimate starlet, admired and loved by people everywhere. Farrah Fawcett was one of the biggest blonde bombshells of the 1970s. Her iconic red one-piece swimsuit photo, lensed by photographer Bruce McBoom in 1976, propelled the relatively unknown actress to fame and resulted in her poster. It sold over 12 million copies, becoming the best-selling poster of all time. That same year, Fawcett was also picked to play Jill Monroe in the crime TV series Charlie's Angels. Alongside leads Kate Jackson and Jaclyn Smith, Fawcett became a household name overnight, winning the People's Choice Award for Favorite Performer in a New TV Program, and earning a Golden Globe nomination for Best Actress. When the show was number 3, I thought it was our acting, Fawcett once said of the show's success. When we got to be number 1, I decided it could only be because none of us wears a bra. A model, actress, and artist, Farrah Fawcett began her acting career in the 1960s before rising to international stardom as Jill Monroe in Charlie's Angels. Although at first, many didn't see her as much more than a pinup girl. Over the course of her life, she proved that she had talent and range, acting in television, films, and Broadway performances. Watch on to see how Fawcett started out as an ordinary girl from Texas and became one of the most talked about and beloved celebrities of her time. Despite her meteoric rise to fame, there's still a lot about Fawcett that many don't know. Best remembered for her landmark role in Charlie's Angels, this American actress was the girl next door of the 1970s and 80s. Behind the big roles and big hair, however, Fawcett's life was less than salon perfect. She was born in Corpus Christi on February 2, 1947, to parents Jim and Pauline Fawcett. Her father was an oil field contractor, while her mother was a housewife. She was the second daughter to her parents, and she altered her name to Farrah after some time. Fawcett's first name was improvised. Her mother named her Farrah, simply because it would sound nice in front of the name Fawcett. She attended St. Patrick's Catholic School and Hamlin Junior High, and was a 1965 Ray High School graduate. She was, without a doubt, a beautiful woman at the height of her fame. It turns out, however, she was known for beauty since childhood. Fawcett's mother is quoted in Texas Monthly claiming that women would approach her and her young daughter in stores, saying, "She looks like an angel." Farrah recalled her childhood neighbors coming to gawk at her. "I always felt so self-conscious," Fawcett told the magazine. "I wanted people not to look at me because so many people kept looking at me." She also made her mark as the most beautiful student in W.B. Ray High School from 1962 to 1965. Obviously, Fawcett had no awkward teenage years, but things only got better for her when she entered college. She was the first freshman in her college to be chosen for the 10 most beautiful co-eds on campus. Taking note of her beauty awards, talent agencies across America started looking up her photographs. She went on to attend the University of Texas at Austin, majoring in microbiology with a minor in art. Students that went to school with the fellow Texan called her kind and gentle, which isn't always the case for the most popular girl in the class. The mayor of Corpus Christi, Joe McComb, noted how beautiful his classmate was, and that although he never had the pleasure to date her, she was friends with everybody. An old friend, Local businesswoman Christine Skinner explained that her nickname was Drippy, since her last name was Fawcett. They were part of a group of female friends that went by the Amigas. Fawcett was pursued by Hollywood agent David Marish for 2 years. He had seen her stuff and urged Fawcett to move to Los Angeles. As a student devoted to her studies, she initially turned him down. It wasn't until 1968 that she finally took up Marish's offer, gaining permission from her parents to try her luck at stardom. She left university before graduating to start her career in Hollywood. After she moved to Los Angeles, she began appearing in a series of commercials and small television roles. Then, in 1976, Pro Arts Inc. pitched the idea for a poster to her agent. After doing her own makeup, hair, and a short photo shoot, Fawcett selected her favorite picture from the 40 images. The result was Fawcett in a red one-piece bathing suit, which went on to become the best-selling poster of all time. On this shoot, the actress styled her own hair and makeup with no mirror. Her blonde highlights pop out with a beach wave, and that's because she squeezed lemon juice into her locks before the photo shoot. This was months before Charlie's Angels came out, and made her more money than the television show. Nabbing the role of Jill Monroe in the ABC crime drama Charlie's Angels, a show with a strange history, was what sent Farrah Fawcett skyrocketing to new heights of stardom. While in Hollywood, she got into a relationship with Lee Majors, an actor. They married on July 28, 1973, after dating for 5 years. Majors started and acted in his TV series, The $6 Million Man, which became an instant success. Fawcett was seen as a guest star in many of the shows. Despite her overwhelming popularity, Fawcett didn't return for the second season of Charlie's Angels. Spelling, who wielded a large amount of power in Hollywood, sued the actress for breach of contract. Faced with a $7 million lawsuit, Fawcett settled out of court by agreeing to make periodic guest appearances on the show over the next few years. Although Fawcett told the network that her burgeoning film career was the reason for leaving, there was speculation that marital problems was the true reason for her withdrawal. Lee Majors, her husband at the time, was the star of ABC. Long filming schedules and extended time spent apart reportedly put a strain on their relationship, but her ambition to pursue a film career was the most commonly cited reason. The marriage of Fawcett and Majors came to an end in 1979 after 9 years. Following up her success on the big screen, Fawcett landed a role in the comedy Mira Breckenridge, starring Raquel Welch. Fawcett started picking up recurring roles on high-profile television series. After she ended her run on Charlie's Angels, Fawcett had an initially tough time getting back on her feet. Small screen success doesn't always translate to the big picture. After a few false starts in the movies, Fawcett finally discovered critical acclaim on the stage. Even though she became immensely popular after her role in Charlie's Angels, she wasn't usually considered a serious, hard-hitting actress. That is, until the star took over a lead role in the off-Broadway play Extremities. The Los Angeles Times recounted her surprising theatrical debut in 1983. Fawcett replaced Susan Sarandon and played the challenging role of a sexual assault victim who gets revenge on her assailant. She ended up getting some of the best reviews of her career. The actress would describe it as the most grueling, the most intense, the most physically demanding and emotionally exhausting part of her career. In 1986, she reprised the role in the feature film and won herself a Golden Globe nomination for Best Actress in a Drama, proving once and for all that she was much more than just a pretty face. Fawcett refused to sign nude photos of herself from her 1980 film Saturn III. This was her personal policy throughout the 80s, which meant it was quite a shock to see her pose semi-nude in Playboy in December 1995. One of Playboy's top-selling issues features Farrah Fawcett. The issue accompanied a video of Fawcett using her body as a paint canvas, something she had wanted to try for years. She was 50 years old at the time. She started a relationship with actor Ryan O'Neal in 1985. They met at a friend's party. He instantly fell in love with her. We have a feeling that the millions of men who watched her on screen felt the same way. As soon as she smiled his way in someone's driveway, O'Neal could tell that Farrah was the one, and there would be no one else who could ever replace her. Farrah felt the same, calling Ryan the love of her life. In 1985, Fawcett gave birth to their son, Redmond. For almost 2 decades, Fawcett enjoyed a relationship with Ryan. Their long-term commitment ended abruptly, for at least a while, after she caught O'Neill in bed with another woman in 1997. Ryan O'Neill and his love broke up in 1997, but just temporarily. It's true that hardships can bring people together, and this is especially true in the case of Farrah Fawcett and Ryan O'Neill. The relationship was put to the ultimate test after O'Neill fell ill, and Fawcett was there for the whole ride. Although they split up, they got back together in 2001 after he was diagnosed with leukemia. They remained a couple until Fawcett's death. Over the years, the couple's relationship with their son became increasingly difficult. This would be Fawcett's longest relationship, but also the one with the most ups and downs, all of which were excruciatingly detailed by the press. It's not the ideal way to bond, but sometimes it takes a tragedy to bring people together and truly understand how fleeting life can be. After taking a break with her former flame Ryan O'Neill, Fawcett later began dating producer James Orr in 1997, but the relationship ended almost as soon as it started. In 1998, Orr was convicted of assaulting Fawcett in a highly publicized scandal that was majorly played up in the tabloids. Neither came out of the legal battle unscathed, and since then became enemies. The bad publicity Orr received seriously hurt his name in Hollywood and had trouble finding work. Despite being a much-loved starlet early in her career, Farrah Fawcett's popularity took a dip in the late 80s and 90s. She explained how her complicated family life and relationship with Ryan O'Neill had tainted her image of a youthful, healthy poster girl. Her career had also dwindled, leading her to a series of TV movies. In September 2006, she was diagnosed with anal cancer. 4 months later, she declared herself cancer-free, but the disease returned in May 2007. Her battle with cancer lasted for 3 difficult years. Unlike most people who would probably crave privacy, Fawcett opted to capture her final moments on film. NBC bought the rights to the footage for $1.5 million, and the film was broadcast in May 2009. While the footage was originally intended to illustrate the problems with American cancer treatment, producer Craig Nevius claimed that the project ended up being a contradiction of what the film was supposed to be. Despite the potentially exploitative nature of Farrah's story, it was clear Fawcett was unrelentingly brave and strong until the end. She marched through her illness fearlessly, taking control of her decisions. She was committed to fight all the way and as long as she could for all the pieces of her life that she was entitled to. Ultimately, what is clear is that Fawcett made a choice. The standard procedure following the reoccurrence of anal cancer is the removal of the anus and rectum, a surgery that would have left Fawcett with a colostomy for life. This was something that the TV star clearly could not bear. Fawcett died at a Santa Monica hospital with her longtime love interest Ryan O'Neill by her side. She was 62. She was survived by O'Neill and their son, Redmond O'Neill. Whether it was because of her acting and modeling, or her million-dollar smile, Farrah will forever remain an icon, and we will always remember her. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and subscribe if you are new here.